And our message to the terrorists is loud and clear. We will not allow them to use our territories for terrorist activities. And we will not be daunted by the terrorist threats. We will fight terrorism to its very end, come what may. I may tell you over here that Pakistanis are the biggest victim of terrorism. We have lost thousands of innocent citizens and brave personnel of the armed forces. We also lost our great leader, Shaheed Mohtamma Benazir Bhutto, who was assassinated on 27 December 2007 by an act of terrorism. She gave her life for the downtrodden people of Pakistan, whom she loved and whom she cared. While helping in all manner for the elimination of terrorism in Afghanistan, we will not still allow foreign troops to operate inside our territory. We believe that action on our territory is the sole prerogative of the Pakistani armed forces. We are poor, but we are a proud and brave nation. We will defend our territorial integrity, whom we respect at all costs. And this is the message we are giving to everyone who is not aware of this fact. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, backed by the government of Pakistan and the people of Pakistan, our brave soldiers rooted out terrorists from Swat and Malakand division, which paved the way for the return of the millions of IDPs. Today, our forces are fighting a war in the tribal belt, and inshallah, we will be successful over there also. I want to tell you one thing, which we should tell the world at large. Terrorism is not Islamic. Had it been Islamic, Muslims in Pakistan would not have been victimized. Millions of people in Pakistan have been affected directly or indirectly. Thousands of lives have been lost. The economy is in disarray. Billions of dollars have been lost, which could have been used for the development of the country. We are still hosting about 3 million Afghan refugees in Pakistan. Why? Because the borders between Afghanistan and Pakistan are porous. When there is a military surge in Afghanistan, the terrorists take refuge in Pakistan. They have got illegally acquired wealth through narco trade and other sources. They have got guns, they have got weapons, they have got bombs, and they use it on innocent citizens of Pakistan. This is the reason I say that peace in Afghanistan is interlinked with peace in Pakistan. In order to have peace in Afghanistan, military action is not sufficient. The solution lies in dialogue and reconciliation along with military action. We must give a regional approach to the issue. Involvement of Saudi Arabia and Iran is very essential for a sustainable peace. My Kashmiri brothers must be over here. We are committed to the inalienable right of the Kashmiri people in accordance with the United Nations resolution and the aspirations and wishes of the Kashmiri people. As Kashmiris are party to the dispute, they must be part of the dialogue process. We are concerned with the human rights violation in Kashmir, and we call upon India to repeat all draconian laws. We also call upon international organizations to take notice of the atrocities being committed to the women and children in the Indian occupied Kashmir. And as far as India is concerned, it is essential that it must resume that composite dialogue to face the challenges, to address the challenges, especially Kashmir, terrorism and water. We are committed to the trial of the Bombay accused. The government has done the needful. The legal process is in progress. The judiciary is independent and justice will be done to the accused persons. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistani economy has suffered a lot. So we would request our international friends to take action for the purpose of rehabilitation of the terrorist affected area. We want trade first and aid second, rather than aid last. Pakistan and UK have got historical relations. We also share a colonial heritage. And I think around 1 million Pakistanis living in United Kingdom reinforces this relationship. I request United Kingdom to open its markets for us and also convince its friends in European Union to do that so that Pakistanis should have duty and quota-free exports and free trade agreement with the European Union. I also request my overseas Pakistani brothers and friends to help Pakistan by actively participating in the economic and national development of the country. In the end, I thank all of you for coming here, gracing the occasion, and I once again thank High Commissioner Wajid Shamsul Hassan for inviting me to address this gathering and for inviting me to come over here along with my wife. Thanks a lot. Thank you for listening with patience, and God be with you. Pakistan, Zindabad.